New details tonight on that plane crash in Jacksonville.
Close to 140 passengers and several crew members on board at the time. The plane running off the runway Friday during a heavy rainstorm, crashing through a rock wall, stopping in the St. Johns River. At least one passenger says it's a miracle that everyone made it out okay.
When the final impact, there was the windows shattered, and we're just trying to get out of there.
Firefighters rescuing passengers and crew members from the wing of the aircraft. The National Transportation Safety Board now investigating, but weather, they say, is slowing things down. The aircraft is currently sitting still in the shallow part of that river tonight.
And the NTSB on the scene sharing more into their investigation at a press conference earlier today. The news station's Samantha Sosa in Jacksonville with the very latest.
We're learning some new info about this crash today. NTSB investigators are here at the Naval Air Station in Jacksonville right now, looking at everything from the plane itself to the condition of the runway. They're saying weather is making their mission a challenge, though.
We've been making some progress.
NTSB investigators working through stormy weather to recover what they can and find out what led up to this 737 skidding into the St. Johns River with 142 people on board. Aerial video showing where the plane landed, crews setting up booms to contain an oil spill.
1,200 gallons of fuel remaining. And because of the weather and the storms and lightning, we've been very, very careful not to get too far into that.
NTSB Vice Chairman Bruce Landsberg giving an update on the investigation, and now we know the plane's flight data box has been recovered. Preliminary numbers show the plane touched down at 178 knots. That's roughly 205 miles per hour. Landsberg saying they're looking at whether speed was a factor in the crash.
Obviously, we have to take into account what the environment was at the time, what the weather conditions were, the aircraft configuration.
Strong thunderstorms were moving through the area during the incident. Landsberg saying the pilot actually requested to change landing direction.
We don't know what they were thinking or why they made that choice.
We're also learning one of the plane's thrust reversers weren't working. Thrust reversers help slow the plane down.
We will be looking very thoroughly at the maintenance of the aircraft. The condition of the thrust reversers will be obviously of interest. So,
commercial pilot and flight instructor Bob Katz tells me over the phone the combination of thunderstorms that day and the fact that one of the thrust reversers wasn't working was a recipe for disaster.
In this case, it appears that the left thrust reverser failed on this airplane, causing the nose of the airplane to drift to the right, and that's why we see the airplane in the water to the right of the extended runway center line.
Investigators do say the plane is in pretty good shape, so they're confident they're going to recover that cockpit voice recorder, and that will give us some answers as to what decisions were made before this crash happened. We're also now learning that Navy divers have recovered 3 pets that were on board, and those pets were cremated. In Jacksonville tonight, Samantha Sosa, Fox 35 News.